What's going on, everybody? My name is Blake Ruffino, and this is Are You Serious? And we got a good show in store for you today. Let's talk some Matt Canada. Let's talk some Steve Ensminger. Let's talk LSU football. And today we're going to break down Matt Canada's offense in the 2017 season. I'm also going to break down Steve Ensminger when he was calling plays last season for LSU, and we're going to break it down piece by piece and really dive into who is better, Steve Ensminger or Matt Canada. Watch to the end of the show. I'm going to give you my thoughts on who is better, but we're definitely going to break that down. But before we get into all that, like us on Facebook or like my Facebook page at Are You Serious Sports. That's at Are You Serious Sports. You can follow me on Twitter at AY55PORTS. That's AY55PORTS. Or you can watch this entire show from YouTube, and I will share that link with you as well. All right, guys, as the rumors have been circulating, I should say, Matt Canada is going to be out as the offensive coordinator at LSU. It's no secret that him and Ed Orgeron butted heads during and after the Troy game, and ever since then, the team hasn't necessarily had a direction that they wanted to go offensively. And you may say, well, yes, Blake, they did. Matt Canada started calling plays. LSU started winning the game. But it never resolved between Ed Orgeron and Matt Canada. They never started to jive. They never got on the same page. And now we're seeing it here that Matt Canada is going to be out. After the Texas A&M game, Ed Orgeron completely made it clear that Steve Ensminger would be his lead guy if Matt Canada were to leave, and he did not. He's showing that right now as promoting Steve Ensminger as the offensive coordinator for the bowl game and pushing towards the 2018 season. But how good was Matt Canada's offense this season? They were pretty productive at times, but they weren't at times as well. Matt Canada brought in a lot of the jet sweeps and a lot of the play action passes and deep passes to DJ Chark. But how did it result in the stat sheet, and how did it result into wins? As everyone knows, LSU is 9-3 this season, but the offense and rushing, they're 28th in the nation with 210 yards, 110.8 yards per game, and passing, they're 85th in the nation with 201 yards per game, which is usually, I believe, Danny Etling's around the 8 to 9 per pass attempt, which is a lot better than last season, but the yards per rush are down. LSU finished this season and is currently 53rd overall with 412.1 yards, total yards per game. That's not a big increase that a lot of the LSU fans were looking for when bringing in Matt Canada, who's being paid $1.5 million to be the offensive coordinator. Now, let's take a step back into Matt Canada and see what it is that he really likes to do. As we talked about the jet sweeps, he likes to go off what the defense dictates to him with the jet sweeps, the play actions, the waggles, and things of that nature. But this year, as a lot of people have been speculating and been saying that the SEC is down, are these really good numbers that Matt Canada's offense has put up? Now you can say, well, last year LSU had better personnel, but as a lot of people have argued, the SEC was down this year. Why are these stats not better? And that's the question that I continue to ask myself. At what point this season did LSU's offense really stand out? I can't necessarily think of one now. I know the Ole Miss games and Tennessee, when you played some really bad defenses, Danny Etling had a better season under Canada, and I get all those things. But should not LSU have better statistics? Danny Etling completed 60% of his passes this season, same number he had last year, with actually more attempts last season. At 242 attempts last year, I think he finished last season with 264 attempts. But under Matt Canada's offense, Danny Etling was really protecting the ball, only had 2 interceptions, but had 5 last season with facing better competition. You can make the argument that under Matt Canada, Danny Etling really got a groove, really hit a stride, but Danny Etling was not the quarterback that Matt Canada wanted. The reason that Ed Orgeron and Matt Canada really started butting heads is that Matt Canada wanted Myles Brennan to be his quarterback. Win, lose, draw, or indifferent, Matt Canada wanted Myles Brennan. Everyone knows that Ed Orgeron wanted Danny Etling, which Danny Etling had a pretty productive season, all untold how he did. This has been the case, and this is why both guys really did not like each other. Canada did not follow the instruction of the head coach in Ed Orgeron. Now, here's what I will say about Matt Canada. Has Matt Canada not been a cancer everywhere he's gone? What I mean by that is if you remember, the most productive place or the best place that Canada has been other than LSU was Wisconsin under Bret Bielema. He was only there for one season in which Bret Bielema and Matt Canada did not jive at all. The guys did not like each other, and Bret Bielema told Matt Canada, you got to hit the road. Matt Canada has been to a ton of different schools over the last decade where he has not been able to sustain one current job. I believe that the most he's stayed at any one place is Northern Illinois for 2 or 3 years, and that's not a long time considering the fact that he's supposed to be this offensive guru. As you remember, last year was only one season at Pitt. I do understand that he was being pulled in a lot of different directions in reference to Tennessee and to LSU, and you had to take the money and you had to take the better coaching position, and I get that. But why has Matt Canada not been at one coaching position for a long time? It does seem that everywhere he goes, he's been a cancer, not just at LSU, but at Wisconsin and Northern Illinois and NC State. So I'm not so worried about Matt Canada leaving, but I know that the argument is going to be, but we don't, and LSU fans, as I've seen on a lot of my posts, they don't necessarily care that Matt Canada is leaving. They care that Steve Ensminger is taking over. But let's take a look back last season at Steve Ensminger's offense under a Les Miles playbook. Now, did Steve Ensminger bring in some of his stuff? Sure. But he was still running that same offense of Les Miles, just opening it up more. If you remember the Missouri game, LSU came out 5 wide and wanted to prove a point that we're not going to go fullback, running back in the I formation with 2 tight ends and run into a brick wall. Ensminger really opened it up. Now, even going back with Steve Ensminger, not just last season, but in 2003 when he was the quarterbacks coach at Auburn, didn't Auburn have a really good quarterback in that season? His name was Jason Campbell. And as you remember, Jason Campbell was a pretty damn good quarterback while at Auburn. If you remember, 2003, 2004, was not Auburn undefeated when Steve Ensminger was there? They were, and they were snubbed out of the BCS. A lot of places that Ensminger has gone, his offenses have done really, really well and been really, really effective. And if we just look back last season to 2016, when LSU faced tougher SEC opponents and tougher teams, LSU was averaging 190 yards per game in passing and 233 yards on the ground. Now, you may not see, I know a lot of people have been saying, well, that's not a lot of great passing numbers. But you had 2 first-round running backs and even a third-round running back projected with Darrell Williams in the backfield. You're damn right you should hand the ball off 20, 30, 40 times a game to Leonard Fournette and Darius Geis. Darius Geis had 15 touchdowns last season and had over 1,500 yards rushing. Why not feed the beast that was the two-headed monster in Leonard Fournette and Darius Geis? Now, Steve Ensminger has been known to be a great quarterbacks coach, and he's the one who allegedly has been fighting for Danny Etling. Now, a lot of people may not like that, but Danny Etling's stats don't lie. 242 passing attempts, 60% completion percentage, about 2,300 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He has led your team to 10, or would be a 10-win season with this roster. I think that it's not just Ed Orgeron that thinks that Steve Ensminger can get this job done, but rumors have been circulating and people have been telling me that Dave Aranda also thinks that Steve Ensminger is a better play caller than Matt Canada. Now, do you guys trust, if you guys don't trust Ed Orgeron, do you trust Dave Aranda? I do, because he's schemed against both of those offenses. And if Dave Aranda is saying that Steve Ensminger is a better play caller when it comes all around, I would like to trust Dave Aranda and Ed Orgeron. Now, last year, as we're talking about Steve Ensminger's offense, they averaged almost 430 yards per game. This year, you're closer to 400. facing lower opponents. Now, my thoughts, and here it is, my thoughts on both these guys on who I would pick. If you guys remember, I've been big on Matt Canada and Matt Canada train, but I do like the idea and the position that Ed Orgeron takes with, you're not going to come into LSU and be a cancer and ruin this football team. Are you going to go, dog? Peace out, Girl Scout. Okay? Matt Canada cannot be a cancer to LSU. And you're going to do what Ed Orgeron wants you to do. And the biggest thing that I take away, and my biggest thought on both of these guys, Steve Ensminger went out and got the #1 wide receiver in the nation. Where was Matt Canada during all this? Where was he during recruiting? He was nowhere to be found. Steve Ensminger went out and got a tight end and Zach Schieffer and went and got the #1 wide receiver, not just in your state, but the entire nation. He's a better recruiter. Maybe a better play caller. My thoughts, I don't think the Steve Ensminger promotion, as you will, would be a bad thing. And the one question I'm going to pose to you LSU fans is this. What if in the bowl game, this offense under Steve Ensminger goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and goes absolutely crazy on Notre Dame? Would that make you settle down? Would it make you relax? Would that make you start to have a little bit more faith in Ed Orgeron and Steve Ensminger? I have one last nugget for you, and this some rumors that I've been hearing, and I can't confirm or deny this. But I have been told by multiple sources that are close to the LSU program that Matt Canada wasn't calling the offense against Texas A&M. It was Steve Ensminger. Did not Danny Etling throw for 350 plus yards in that game? And LSU ran the ball all over A&M as well, with lesser competition, with lesser people, with lesser skill guys on the outside. I think that Steve Ensminger may be your guy moving forward. And if it's not Steve Ensminger, going and getting out a guy who won't be a cancer to your team, won't be a cancer in the front office and to your program. I think that we should start trusting Ed Orgeron and trusting what it is that he wants to do and who he wants to bring in. And I know this is confrontational. But Steve Ensminger has shown in the places that he's been, he's not a cancer. He's shown that his offenses can be productive. And under a really and when he was the offensive coordinator in 2008 with Auburn, oh, they didn't have great stats. He also had no personnel under who? Tommy Tuberville. So guys, this is my thoughts on the entire thing with Matt Canada and Steve Ensminger. I would like to trust in Steve Ensminger moving forward, and we will see in the bowl game with just a couple days from now. You guys have a great day and watch. I hope you were able to watch the whole show here on YouTube and you like our following. So don't forget to like my Facebook page on @RUSeriouSports. Follow us on Twitter at AY55PORTS, or you can go to my website at RUSeriouSports.com. You guys have a great day and we'll see you again soon. Peace out.